First of all, we're all juniors in this class, and that leaves us only one more year for us to graduate, to become adults, finally capable of making our own decisions in life. We learned everything we needed in class and got our honors and 4.0 GPAs. I mean, I hope most of us did. But I want to ask you a simple question that is supposedly not difficult to answer. What is a Muslim? I'm sorry to say this, but most people out there, supposedly civilized human beings, are going to answer ISIS, suspect, jihadi, or maybe terrorist, the oppressed, raghead. I mean, what do you expect at all? When you see a woman with a hijab, or perhaps a man wearing a traditional Islamic clothing walking down the street with a black duffel bag, what will you think? Perhaps the first thing that comes to our minds is, maybe I should stay away from that person because it's better to be safe than sorry. As absurd as it might sound, most of us sitting here probably had the thought at least once, maybe twice. We constantly tell ourselves not to think that way, but when the word Muslim appears, that raghead or ISIS is what we picture. What we, students that are soon coming to age, the next generation, the hope of this world. This is what we picture a Muslim. A human being that's being judged because of his beliefs, his clothings, and his faith. I once met a Muslim woman that was wearing a hijab on the plane. A young lady in her 20s heading back to Iran after her visit to America. When I first saw her, I was like, cool, it's a woman with a hijab. I wanted to get to know her and forced myself to drop the stereotyping against Muslims. And I did. I was surprised at how talkative and nice she was. And guess what? A little secret, she likes Americans. I finally got the answer that I wanted. A Muslim is a worthy human being that deserves to be respected, that deserves to have the freedom, like we all do, to choose what he or she wants to wear and not being judged by that. So what it is that we judge whether this person is good or not by their clothing? Is it the media, the TV, how we were taught in school or our families? What is the cause of this? What is the cause of the world that people are being judged constantly and discriminated against? There was barely anything positive about this religion, and therefore nothing positive about the people. This is a world where people judge others just because of their appearances. A world that people's rights are being taken away just because we fear them. We must understand that head coverings or burqas or hijabs are essential clothing items for some Muslim women. But the unwanted media stereotyping has caused the world to shift its focus from the vast majority of peaceful Muslims to the minute minority of the extremists who believe that committing the jihad is their duty. This has caused fear and hatred towards Muslims to develop and create further problems. The lack of understanding about the hijab leads to greater problems, such as racial and religious discrimination. The banning of the head covering and burqa can already be seen in many parts of the US and the world. Although it is against the First and 14th Amendment to ban the freedom to practice religion, some companies, organizations, even schools have banned some Muslim religious clothing items due to the fear and prejudice that they have for Muslims. Many countries have already made the decision to ban the burqa and the headscarf. In the United Kingdom, employers are not allowed to stop staff from wearing headscarves. And in the United States, a woman stated that she was not hired by a clothing retailer because she was wearing a headscarf. And that violated the no headscarf policy that the company enforced. Similar cases throughout the United States and Europe have also occurred. Religious pluralism is one of the essential principles of constitutional democracies. Yet the ways in which Western democracies deal with Islamic practices raise a variety of issues that appear to erode religious pluralism. In recent years, there have been major public debates in several European countries, whether about the acceptability of Islamic practices, specifically the wearing of a headscarf or hijab by women or girls. Discrimination against Muslims are often caused by the misunderstanding or the lack of understanding towards them. Fear and hatred grows towards Muslims due to the terror attacks and stereotypes of a Muslim being a terrorist. The problem has to be addressed and combated against, since it would not only affect Muslims, but also the society's values of the future generation. This cycle must be ended. So I ask again, what is a Muslim? And I hope in the future, the answer would not be a terrorist, ISIS, or raghead. But the answer would simply be human. And that all of us would be capable of treating others as a human being. Thank you.